Welcome to 23 Degrees Sideways. We're going to have a lot of fun today. We're in a parking garage in Reno, Nevada. I was going to do this on top of the parking garage, but because of the coronavirus panic, I guess you're not allowed to drive to the top of the parking garage where there's sunlight. Dude, this is just amazing, okay? I'm going to go ahead and do the Soviet America rant. Alright, so I've been looking at the data, I've been looking at everything. You have millions of people running through Europe with no masks, doing their protests, doing their demonstrations. You have people in Europe talking about how awful the US is with all of the stuff that they've done wrong. We have no deaths of any significance. We have an incredibly low mortality rate from the coronavirus. We have treatments that we can't use because politicians hate them. We have data that's being suppressed because politicians hate them. We have a media that is out of fucking control. The media is out of control. There is no one. I've watched several videos about Europeans' reactions to the debacle of how the virus is handled in the United States. Not a single one of them knows anything, okay? I have reached out to some of these people. I have asked them questions. I've asked them about their sources of information, what they know. I've presented them with numbers from county officials, from state officials, actual websites. They know nothing, nothing, nothing. They know only what the media reports to them, and the media reports to them absolute lies all the time. The media is the enemy of the people. It is the friend of the state. It is the enemy of the people. It is manufacturing an authoritarian regime. You know why they hate Trump? They hate Trump because he's an American. They hate Trump because he's a guy who talks like he went down to a bar and talked politics with his friends. He comes up with funny ideas, he shouts them out, and then we talk about it, and we work through it, and we compromise. He says something like, hey, should we postpone the elections? And then a bunch of experts get together and talk about it, and everyone has an argument, and everyone has to discuss it because he's the president, so the people who work for him have to actually discuss it. They can't just say, yeah, we're going to ignore you. And then you come up with something, like an actual answer, okay? He's done this several times with constitutional issues, with withdrawing troops from foreign nations. Constantly does this. And the basic answer is, the basic answers are reasonable, okay? He comes up with something, he says something really crazy as a what if, and then you get a whole bunch of actual discussion. Okay, this doesn't work with Congress. This doesn't work with the media. The media refuses to report any of it. The media refuses to report. Look, every European I've talked to is unaware of the fact that Trump has threatened sanctions against nations that do not have LGBT rights. No one knows. No one will report this, okay? You know nothing about the coronavirus. If you live in America and you're paying attention to the news and the retractions and all the stuff that goes wrong and all the numbers, you know that you know nothing because none of us really know anything. The only thing that you know, the only thing that is reasonably positively identifiable in terms of knowledge is the lagging indicator of fatalities. We don't know how many people have it. We don't know who's got it, who's had it. We know how many people have died, and we know, roughly speaking, that something like half of the reports are accurate. Maybe as much as 80%. Even if you treat all of the reports as accurate, even if the guy who died in a motorcycle accident really, really is listed as a coronavirus death, it's still really low. There's nothing there. There's not the huge shut down the country, shut down the world issue. We have a problem with the media. I'm calling it out right now. We have a problem with the media. And what that has led to between the media and certain authoritarian government officials, authoritarian agencies, and the virtuization, not virtualization, but virtuization, making virtue of sickness, fear, and victimhood. Because of that, we have Soviet America. I've been in Eastern Europe. Last time I was in Eastern Europe was in the early 90s, okay? Only time. It was all early 90s, right? I was never in Soviet Eastern Europe. But I was in early post-Soviet Eastern Europe, and I've been in the Mediterranean, I've been in the Middle East. I've seen the Soviet-style supply lines, okay? And we're in Soviet America. You go to the store to see if they have something you want, not because you have a shopping list. That is absolutely insanely backwards. You go to a restaurant, you ask what they have. At this point, I have been to $20 to $50 a plate restaurants, okay, with friends who are doing business stuff, and expensive restaurants. Ruth's Chris Steakhouse, for example. They don't have their menu items. They don't have their menu items. It's not just McDonald's saying, "Oh yeah, shake machine's broken." Yeah, okay, that sucks, and that should not happen. Okay, honestly, that's once again Soviet America. We can't get the ingredients to make the milkshakes. Wow, can't get beef, can't get French fries, but I have actual high-end restaurants, mid-range restaurants, whatever. You know, I live in the desert Southwest. It's not, I don't have whatever the fuck $200 a plate menu options you have in Pittsburgh. We have reasonably high-end restaurants that cannot actually serve their menu. I'm surprised we have gas, okay? I'm really, really happy with Trump because we still have gas. I can still mostly get tires. It only took a week and a half instead of 2 days to get the tires for my car. So, you know, but that's still, the fact that I had to wait that long for the order, you know, is bizarre. We're not quite at the stage where I have to see what tires you have today until I find something that will fit my car. We're not quite there, but we're definitely at the stage where you go to the store and you don't get your 7th generation dish soap. You figure out which dish soap you can tolerate and get it, or you do without, and you wait until the store has what you need. This is just a ranting video, and it's horrible. And there's no real stuff here. You know, I'm not going to give you any advice. I don't have any psychological research about stress management. There's nothing here. It's just a fucking rant. The Atlantic reports about how awful it is that low-wage earning people are being forced to go to work under threat of losing their houses to risk their lives. I'm like, how the fuck were you going to buy your groceries if everyone, like, we're supposed to have a social safety net so that everyone stays home and nothing happens. Complete, total shutdown. What? No post office drivers? No deliveries? What the unholy fuck is your logic that everyone should have full pay at CEO level indefinitely and stay home? Where? You're an urban progressive, aren't you? Yes, the Atlantic author of that article is in fact an urban progressive. You think farmers don't count. If farmers have to go work, well, that's just too bad. All those redneck hillbilly bumpkins. They're not really human. It makes me very angry at times. I allow myself to get very angry or frustrated. It goes away. I mean, I laugh. You gotta laugh because this is going to get so stupid that it backfires. I really think this is going to get stupid enough that it just completely backfires. I think we're going to see an actual, hopefully, we will see an actual end to the Democratic Party as currently constituted, and they will reform as a new party with some elements of the moderate Democrats and some elements of the moderate Republicans, and the Marxists can go off and fucking fly a kite, or kill themselves, or whatever. What's the end state? Again and again and again. What's the end state? What's the goal? What are they trying to accomplish? They're trying to tear down statues. What are they trying to accomplish? What's the positive goal? Goals are positive. Goals are not negative. Destruction is negative. What is the goal? What is the positive outcome? What is the positive outcome of tearing down statues of George Washington, Thomas Jefferson? What's the positive outcome of the media reporting? What's the goal? The goal? There's no goal. Profit is the goal. But they're willing to tear apart the country. They are, and I will say this again and again and again, they are the enemy of the American people. The media has become the enemy of the American people. I'm not advocating anything be done in terms of violence. the real easy way to shut down the mainstream media and remove their power is to turn it off. That's all you need to do. Turn it off. I'm not advocating any weird hits on them or anything. They destroy lives. They kill people. They cause people to commit suicide. We have a suicide problem in the United States that is at least 20% the fault of the media. Okay? The whole COVID thing, everyone staying home, all that, 20% of that, at least. Guarantee you. And I'm making the numbers up, but I'm doing this based on observations. I've been watching suicide rates. I've been watching the news reports. I've been watching the laws versus the news reports. And the states that the suicides are in, 20% at least are directly the fault of the media, exacerbating the situation. Fear is virtue. That's horrible. Fear is profit. That's horrible. That's fucking amazingly horrible. Again, one of the reasons I'm not actually a libertarian is I don't think you can allow this to just take over your world. We're at 11 minutes. I have 2 minutes left. I have to keep these videos relatively short or you won't watch them. Alright, Soviet America. We live in Soviet America. We do not have stable supply lines. And it's at least partially the fault of the media. The Atlantic, just turn it off, man. New York Times, don't subscribe. I know a lot of people subscribe because they report the stupid shit and the fake news, flat out fake news first, because they create some of that fake news, because they do shit like the 1619 Project. So you subscribe so you can see what they're saying, so you can actually get it firsthand instead of waiting for HuffPo to or Jezebel to spooge all over you. Nah, just don't. Cancel them. Cancel the media. Cancel it. Don't give them a dime. Write any advertiser you see on a media source, or write any advertiser you know of, whatever, any company that uses advertising, and tell them, this is it. I see your ad on New York Times, I won't support you. Everybody do that. I have 21 subscribers, so I'm not going to get that ball rolling, but, you know, if you're kind of like a big name and you have like, a couple 100,000 subscribers, maybe you can do that. I don't have the reach. I write Congress every week. Maybe I'll start writing the companies every week. You know, gnat in a blast furnace, I don't know. But, gotta do something. Soviet America. Never thought it would happen. And, it's gonna be so much fun. Hopefully they get stupid enough that it blows up in their face, because it'll be less violent that way. But, man, this is gonna be fun to watch. Alright, peace out. Have a good one. Stay sideways. Don't let your bucket get too full. And all that happy shit.